Attention, all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir, tout le monde, et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3 CJZ, opening the weekly amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. It is the longest running Simplex Net in the Hamilton area. And this week is 1,614 times that AREG has been on the air. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time, here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. And so I also stream the net on YouTube, so people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio, hear how their audio sounds on the air, and see their signal strength, as well as see my station layout. So just type in my call into the YouTube search box, again, VA3CJZ, and you can look for us live, or tonight we'll have the title AREG Week 1614. Excuse me. And so, with that, finally, we ask that you please leave at least a 1 second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in. And so, do we have any time sensitive or mobile stations that would like to check in? Please come now. All right. So, we had VE3BMO and VA3NFL. Were early check ins. And so they're in the log. So let's open it up now to anyone with a valid license. This is VA3CJZ. Please come now.
Oh my, where's Rick? VA3IMW.
You know, it's funny because I heard him on the radio earlier in the day.
We always get worried when conspicuous folks disappear. Anyways, I'm sure there will be a bunch come along.
Yeah. Probably. Well, it's 8 o'clock, right? It's a new day, so that means getting your POTA contacts in there for the first few minutes. So I get it, but the non-POTA guys, yeah. Anyways, Mac, let's start with you. VA3IMW. What day is today for vacation? Day 3?
Well, it's either day 3 or day 5. It depends on whether you count the weekends or not. Let's say it's day 5. It sounds so much better. Anyways, we did a little tour down to St. Catharines area. Took a stroll through the outlet mall. Had some lunch. Just kind of a leisurely day. And other than that, I guess the only other significant thing that I saw today was a news item that came out identifying that Ford has finally admitted that they're canceling the electric 3-row seat SUV that was originally planned for Oakville. So they originally said they were delaying it and they were going to manufacture it at some other location. Well, they've actually admitted now that the plan now is to cancel it. So all of that hard work that we did last year, all of my stuff in France and all of the design activities, it all goes in the ash can. They're going to redesign it as a hybrid vehicle, and I'm not sure when it's going to be available for the marketplace, but yep, there's a lot of people scratching their heads, and if you read the news, it's going to cost Ford something like $1.9 billion all in order to cancel the vehicle. They got to pay suppliers for tooling and stuff that had already been started, and they won't see any production out of that. Anyways, that's just a little personal thing that has affected me. It's kind of a sad day, but nonetheless, I'm sure it's all for the best. Other than that, I got an appointment with the vet tomorrow. The dog's having some itchy ears, and so we're going to go out to Binbrook and see one of his favorite people out there. He really likes going to see the vet. Other than that, let's see. Tomorrow's Thursday, so we're going to be on Simplex for the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net, 446.125. And let's see. You did get an honorable mention tonight on the Burlington Amateur Radio Club Net. They did make everybody aware of this net tonight. So even though Chris seemed to be taking a sabbatical, not sure where he was, but there was another guy filling in for him. I think I've just about timed out the non-repeater, so I'll return it back to you and see if we've woken up any more of our frequent flyers.
Yeah. Well, it's sad to hear about the automotive news there, Mac. I haven't really looked at the news at all today, and so I haven't heard anything. And so that just means more trips around the world for you, for something new next time around. That'll be down the road, I'm sure. Other than that, yes, Bill was mentioning to me about our get together. Maybe you could make an announcement on that on coming up on the 15th.
Coming up on the 15th. Are you talking about the September get together or the N1CC event?
The September get together. Dundurn Park.
All right, QSL. Yep, September 15th. That'll be a Sunday. Probably start around 9:30 in the morning. Coffee and a good chat with Eyeball QSO for a lot of people that don't really see each other very much. And so we're going to have coffee, a couple of cases of water, maybe some snack foods and stuff like that. But other than that, really the whole intent is to get together. And while we're there, we're going to set up some radio equipment and do a mass activation of Dundurn Castle, and I guess if we get the right location, it's a three-fer. Picks up Burlington Heights and something else, I guess Waterfront Trail. Anyways, there'll be a three-fer with as many operators that we can possibly muster together, and we'll definitely spot ourselves and get everybody around the world hearing us. We'll take the time to work a bunch of bands, I think, too. I'm sure we'll start with 40 meters and then work out from there. But that should be a lot of fun, and it's a good thing to kind of round off the good weather season, and hopefully Sunday morning the park will not be too active, so we should have some space. A rain date will be the 22nd, and if in fact the park is jam-packed, we'll take a trip around the corner and relocate to RBG, or Royal Botanical Gardens. So we have contingency upon contingency. Other than that, feel free to reach out to any of our regular POTA activators for any further information on that activity.
Okay, very good, Mac. Well, thank you for all that information. And I'll let you take a breather now, and we'll see who else is out there that would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3, any?
VA3NCA.
All right, heard two stations there, NE and NCA. Let's bring in Kevin, VA3 NE.
Yeah, good evening there, Chuck and Wade and Mac and anyone else listening on the net. I'm just tuning in. Been in and out. You do what I'm doing best outside, Chuck, smoking pork tenderloin and some Italian sausage. Just started them too at 7:45, so I guess I'll be eating dinner late. More beers for me, and then I'll eat and go to bed. Get a big fat belly, bigger than it is. All right, back to you. Thanks for being there, VA380.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's addictive that smoking, and man, I sure miss my smoker when I used to make beef jerky there, and uh, all kinds of meats, and it's a lot of fun. Um, Keep in mind the fruity or the fruit like apple and cherry, they're usually better with um, chicken or ribs or pork, of some kind of pork roast. And the mesquite is great for the beef, obviously. But after a while, you'll figure out which flavor is the best for whatever meats you're putting in there. So yeah, right on. It's a lot of fun. Well, thanks for checking in there, Kevin. You're sounding great. Of course, you're not far away. You're on the portable.
No, actually, I'm on the 705. It's kind of like a portable. Only about 10 watts I'm putting out. But I did plug it into the 5-element beam pointed up towards the West Mountain. I even heard Wade coming in, and I didn't check the signal, but it sounded like he was at least a 5x5. And Mac, he was like a 10 or 15 plus into the 705 with the 5-element beam pointed up towards that way. Anyhow, back to you. I got to sit on the side here and drink my chili willy.
All right, very good. Cold snacks, I think George calls them. I wonder how he's doing. All right, Kevin, thanks for the check in. Much appreciated. And let's move on down to Wade, VA3NCA.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 MCA. Good evening, Chuck, and good evening, everybody on net. Yeah, busy return to work. I haven't had much time to play radio, unfortunately, but I did make some time the last little while to build that little circuit board I bought at the Milton Hamfest, little power pole distribution board. I have thoughts that I'll build it into a little box so that I can have a more portable format of my 7100. So this will be power distribution for that thing. So haven't fired it up yet, but everything looks right so far. So I'll have to do a little bit of testing and then try it out. But just a little 5-port, like 1 port in, 5 port out, fused power pole distribution board. So should give me a little more flexibility for the power situation for my portable station. Anyways, that's the only ham radio adjacent thing I've really got done. Other than that, I am fixing up some typos that I made in the call log, the order of all the activators calling each other for the M1CC event this weekend. So fixing that up and publishing it up there on the special activations section of the Discord for people to take a look at. So yeah, I somehow embarrassingly typoed the calling frequency for 70 centimeters as 466, and of course that's not right at all. So got to fix that up. But anyways, not much else going on. I'll send it back to you there, Chuck.
Oh, very good, Wade. You just gave me an idea. Years ago, I had at my radio station something similar for the back of my power supply, because my power supply just has like one enough for one positive, one negative, and so I did a same thing, that a multi connection going into the uh, power supply, so that I could put multiple radios without creating an octopus in the back. And so, yeah, you've given me a good idea there, Wade. Right on, very good. When you're in the clear, Wade, 15 over S9 here on my radio. So really good signal tonight and good audio. So conditions must be good. Anything else you'd like to add, Wade?
Despite my high noise floor, you're coming through it really well to my station as well tonight. So 2 meters must be doing well for us tonight for sure. No, yeah, this little board. It's actually an open source design that you can download from the internet. You can send it to any of those board companies in China, and for like $10 delivered, you get 5 of them. I couldn't be bothered to sort of wait that long, so when I saw them at the Hamfest, I picked them up and loaded it up with the parts just tonight. So yeah, it's a nice little board. Should be good for about 30 or 40 DC amps. So yeah, I'm hoping it does the job. Sounds like DC distribution is a pretty common um, project for him. So I figured I'll throw this one together. Needs some protection. It's a bare board, and I kind of don't like the idea of having bare 30 amp DC boards without a case. So maybe I'll have to come up with something to mount it in for a bit of protection. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. So yeah, I'll let you pick some more people up because I know there must be out there, and I'm going to be here for the duration for sure. Always a great way to spend a Wednesday, and so I'll send it back to you. BA3NCA, BA3 IMW. I almost called you IMW. CJZ, back to you there, Chuck.
All right. One last thing, Wade, before you go, I see the date is the 21st. So what is that? 10 or 9 days in this month. What is it? 31 days. So you got 10 days to finish your cycling. How's that coming along?
I do have 10 days left. The weekdays with budget season and me having taken 2 weeks off kills all the time I got for work during the week. I meant to get out this evening and I didn't make it. So I've got 1,450 kilometers in the books. I need 200 more. But I got 3 weekend days this weekend plus one more where I'm sure I can get out and knock that off. So, and if I throw in a couple of rides through the week, if I can eke them out, that'll fix me up. So, got lots of time to do that last little bit. So, but I'm doing pretty well, I think. 1,450 on the month.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a decent number for sure. All right. Very good, Wade. All right. So we'll clear with VA3NCA. And I'd like to say hello to our check ins on YouTube. Again, I do stream the net on YouTube. Just put in VA3CJZ and you can follow along. There's a clock on there. You can move the slider at the bottom and you can move it back and forward to wherever you like and listen along, chat with the others in the room. I'd like to say hi to Wayne and Jeff, or Wayne, yeah, Wayne B and Jeff. So with that, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group.
Victor, VE3LBI. Yankee Victor.
Okay, there's a double there. I heard VE3LBI. And was that VE3 Quebec Yankee Victor?
Yes, roger that. This is Victor Echo 3, Quebec Yankee Victor Mobile.
Okay, very good. So we'll take you first, Mobile. And Larry, just stand by. And I believe that's Christian. Good evening. This is Chuck. How are you?
Good, Chuck. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm just westbound right now on the link, and I'm running on my new ICOM 5100. So I might cut in and out. Not too sure where your QTH is, but no news for the net. It's my first time checking in, and Steve recommended this net to me, so glad to listen in, and I'll leave it back to net control. This is VE3 QIV.
Okay, VE3QYV, VA3CJZ. I'm over here by the Center Mall at Barton and Ottawa Street. I'm just 2 blocks south of there. And so you're giving me a great signal most of the time. Of course, there's a little fluttering there, but nonetheless, thanks for following along, Christian. And thanks for being part of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. coming up on the September 11th in 3 weeks' time. That will be our 31 years of service on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, and we'd love you to make sure you stop in then as well. So thank you, Christian. All right, let's bring in Larry, VE3LBI.
Yep, evening, Chuck and everybody else. Just got in here. I was outside for a bit, so I just came in and thought I'd check into the net tonight before you start all your on this day and the trivia stuff. So I thought get in here and sit down for a bit.
Ah, very good, very good. Yes, I was outside today with my wife there. She's on vacation, first full day vacation, and we were outside doing some yard work, and it's actually very nice sitting underneath our canopy tent there, getting some shade. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few people out tonight for a walk. Anyhow, Larry, I heard some people talking about canning. Are you canning anything this year?
No, haven't done anything for years. We used to do quite a bit. Well, canning and used to make sausage. But no, haven't done anything this year. Probably will not. It's a little rough to do it by yourself. Wife's not into it anymore, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe somewhere down the future I might do some.
Yeah, it's been a few years for me as well. Not that long though, just a few years. I think next year I'm gonna maybe try and do it with some tomatoes. I think I'm losing my voice. I think I'm coming down with something there. I haven't been feeling too hot all day, so um, I don't know how. Must be from the wife because I don't really go anywhere. Anyways, I don't know if anybody heard, but this morning was the time that you could see the blue supermoon, which I believe is the uh, second full moon in a month or something like that. So apparently, this morning, very early, if you got up and looked straight south, you'd be able to see it. Let us know if you did. Okay, Larry, thank you so much for checking in. Much appreciated, sir. And with that, let's see who else is out there would like to check in to the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot.
And there's the Night Walker, Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot, portable. Come on in, Vern.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on net. Glad you didn't call me the Night Stalker. I'll take the Night Walker. Out for a walk. It's a little cool. I have a light jacket on, but a pretty nice day. And we're just back from Port Hope. We were there overnight and caught a play yesterday at a theater. It was a lot of fun, Chuck. Hope you're doing okay.
All right, very good, Vern. You're coming in good. At least an S9 there, I think, or better. And so we're getting good reception from you tonight. How far do you walk there when you go for your walk?
I'm usually out in the evening for about 45 minutes, but in the morning, usually over an hour.
Yes, I understand. Okay, very good then. Well, thank you for taking the time to check in with us, and you have yourself a great rest of the evening.
Thanks for picking me up, Chuck. I'll be listening along for as long as I'm out enjoying the fresh air.
He set up, Chuck.
I was waiting for Mac to say something, and there he is like a dirty shirt. Yes, Vern did say up, Chuck, but that's okay. Uh, thanks, Vern. Enjoy your night walk. All right, so let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3 Hotel Kilo Charlie.
Okay, VA3 Hotel Kilo Charlie. I believe that is Harry. Is that right?
That is correct, Chuck, and thank you again for putting the net out and giving me a chance to get back on the air. I think it has been about 2 months I checked in here with my handheld Quancheng, and you couldn't hear me very well. But I hope you can hear me good now. I have a new radio set up and an antenna, and I hope it gets out a lot better. It was nice to hear Mark. Thank you. The other day, telling me I was transmitting the wrong frequency there while you were doing the net. I hope I fixed everything. I believe I have fixed everything now. Also, it was nice to hear from Christian. Christian, it's been a while since April, and I want to thank you for helping me write my test. Other than that, just a quick check-in for me. You'll really have to take off soon. But yeah, thank you, Chuck, for giving me the opportunity to get back on the air again. Back on the net.
Okay, Harry. Well, I'll tell you what, your new setup is working fabulous. I've got you here at full strength. I'm here by the Center Mall, Barton and Ottawa Street, East Hamilton. And yeah, you're coming in full scale. So nice, clean audio. And so, yeah, I'm sure you're picking up. I don't know how long you've had it, but I'm sure you'll notice quite the difference from a handheld. Mind you, even with an outdoor antenna, you can plug in your handheld. You just need an adapter, and you can plug your outdoor coax into that, and play with that. So, anyways, Harry, great job. Thanks again for checking in, and we also stream on YouTube if you wish to watch or listen along. You just type my call into the YouTube search and look for us live. Tonight we have the title AREG Week 1614. So just look for that and you can follow us along there. Anything else for us there, Harry?
That's it from me, Chuck. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great rest of the evening. With that, let's see who else would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. All right, let's start making some announcements for this weekend's upcoming contests. Quite the variety of contests this weekend. And we'll start with the an RTTY contest, if anybody's doing that. There's a SCRY RTTY contest. And also there's an Earth, Moon, Earth. The ARRL EME contest is on this weekend for 2 days. And that's for 2.3 gigahertz and up for CW, phone, and digital. And that's for 2 days straight this weekend. Next, we've got some QSO parties. We've got the Hawaii QSO party, the U.S. Islands QSO party, the Kansas QSO party, as well as the Ohio QSO party. Now, they're all running at different times, it seems. They're not all the same. For example, the Hawaii one is running for 2 days, but it doesn't start until 0400 Zulu on August 24th, and it runs to 0400 Zulu August 26th. So that would mean midnight for us. Yeah. Okay, very good. Next, we've got the Australia Ladies Amateur Radio Association contest, or the ALARA contest, and that's for phone and CW for 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80 meters. Next, we have the YODXHF contest. I forget that's for CW sideband, and it's for 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80 meters. And I looked this up earlier. I do believe it's a Portuguese one. Let me double check here. Sorry, it's the Romanian International YODX HF contest. There you go. Again, like I mentioned, that's for sideband and CW, 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80 meters. And as I mentioned earlier, the U.S. Islands QSO party is for CW, phone, and digital. And the bands are 6 meter, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. That's the U.S. Islands QSO. And then we have an FT4 FT8 contest called the Worldwide Digi DX contest. And that's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Then the Kansas QSO party is for CW, sideband, and digital / RTTY. And that's for 6 meters, 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80. Now the Ohio QSO party is for sideband and CW, and that's for 10 through 160. So 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Now this is the one, the CVA. Let me look at the web page. That's a Brazilian one, a Brazilian contest. It's called the CVA DX contest, and that's for sideband for 10 meters right through 160. And for CW, we've got the SA South Africa RLHF CW contest for 20, 40, and 80 meters on CW. And that's pretty much it for the contests coming up this weekend. If you want any more information, just open up your web browser, type in contestcalendar.com. And I usually open up the 8-day calendar, and you can just click on any one of the contests you're interested in to get more information. Does anyone have any announcements that they'd like to make for whatever they have coming up? This is VA3CJZ. All right. Let's see if we have any new check-ins for this week's AREG Net. This is VA3CJZ. Anyone, anywhere? Okay, then. I'd like to welcome Albert to the net. Good evening, Albert, VA3BT. We shall put you in the log, sir. And where are you? Are you by the fire by any chance, Albert? Let me add you to the log, Albert. All right, Albert is check-in number 12 this evening. And let's see if he heard me. And you by the fire and you have a beer. Well, lucky you. Right on, enjoy. It's a beautiful beautiful night. If I wasn't down here doing the net, I certainly would be by the fire myself. So very good. Thanks for checking in, Albert. Hope all is going well. And my wife, Renata, she's on vacation starting today, so we'll be doing some stuff together. All right. With that, do we have anyone else that would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now. Wow, no Rick. Few people haven't checked in, but that's okay. That's okay. maybe we'll start with a little bit of trivia, seeing as no one else would like to check in. Does anyone have a subject they'd like to bring up, and we can talk about that? Uh, Bring it on in. All right. Well, let's start with a little bit of fun trivia here. Multiple answers, and see how everybody does. All right. Okay. First off, how much percentage of Earth Earth's surface is covered by water? 51%, 61%, 91%, or 71%? Anyone?
How about 71%?
Okay, 71% it is, Mac. You're right. That's absolutely right. Very good. Okay, what's next? Another easy one to get everybody started. What was Martin Luther King Jr. famous speech commonly referred to as? Uh, I have a dream. B. Freedom fighters. C. Dead and evil. Or D. Rise up. That was a pretty simple one. It's I have a dream. That was Martin Luther. Way to go, guys on YouTube following along. You both got it right. And who directed the film Schindler's List? Was it A. Martin Scorsese, B. Steven Spielberg, C. Michael Jackson, or D. Christopher Nolan?
Steven Spielberg.
All right, Vern, you win that one. It's, in fact, Steven Spielberg who directed Schindler's List. Which is the highest grossing animated film of all time? Is it Toy Story 4? Is it Avatar? Is it Frozen 2? Or is it The Lion King? I'll give you a few seconds there.
Let's go with Avatar.
100% Avatar.
Actually, the answer is The Lion King. That's the highest grossing animated film of all time. Wow. Anyone know what year the first Academy Awards ceremony was held? I've got 1927, 1932, 1929, or 1951. Oh, that was tough to pull in there, Mac. Could you relay?
I didn't get it either.
Yeah, I can't pull you in there, Vern. Sorry. But the answer is 1929. That was the very first Academy Awards.
Yeah, Vern said 27. I don't think that was one of the options, though.
Let me see. Yes, that was the first one. 1927, 32, 29, or 51.
Knew it was in the 20s.
Absolutely. All right. Who wrote Romeo and Juliet? Was it Charles Dickens, William Shakespeare, Jane Austen, or Mark Twain?
Oh, my goodness. It's Mr. Shakespeare.
And Wade got that right as well. Billy Shakes. Very good there, Wade. That's right. All right. Now, what year did the Titanic sink? Was it 1905, 1912, 1920, or 1931?
1912.
Albert got it right as well as Mac, 1912. I couldn't hear Vern very well. Oh, Wade got it right too.
Yeah, Vern had something about his uncle in Ireland. That might be an interesting story.
As long as it's not cousin Ed and he has an RV.
Fortunately, he did not.
Okay, I got that. Yes, thankfully he did not accept the ticket. But yeah, his great-grandfather worked on the Titanic in the shipyards in Ireland and was offered a ticket on the maiden voyage. Anyways, that's a good piece of history for the family. Okay, Chuck, back to you.
All right, very good. Very good. So, how about the largest planet in our solar system? Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, or Venus? Largest planet: Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, or Venus?
Jupiter, VW3WPG, just tuned in.
Something inside me wants to say Uranus.
Not on the list. And I think I heard VA3WPG with the right answer. Chris, it's right. It's Jupiter.
I also had 1912, but I just tuned in right then and I didn't grab the mic in time, but I also had that one. But yeah, Jupiter. Just tuned in. Continue with the thing. I'll check in later.
Okay, very good. And we also have Bill, VE3IUK, trying to spell Jupiter on on the YouTube. So we'll add you in there, Bill, on my check-in list before we continue on, so I don't forget. VE3IUK. There you go. Thank you, Bill. Okay, so let's go back to where were we? Multiple choice. There we go. Okay, little geography question here. 2 countries have enclaves in Italy. Which ones are they? Is it Argentina and Paraguay? Is it Austria and Germany? Is it San Marino and Vatican City? Or is it Azerbaijan and Armenia?
San Marino and Vatican City.
Absolutely. Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. What is the currency of Australia? Is it the euro, the dollar, the peso, or the yen? That's right, Wade. It is the almighty dollar. Dollar, dollar, dollar. The Australian dollar. That's right. What is the largest ocean on Earth? Is it the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, or the Arctic Ocean?
My backyard swimming pool, VE3PDL.
Pacific, VE3QFE.
Yeah, but you pee in that pool there, Paul. Okay. I heard PDL. Who's the other station that keyed up?
WPG Pacific.
Okay, so I heard whole whack of yous in there. Um, VE3MEU, I got you. And there was someone else in there.
WPG.
Pacific.
Could I get a relay from someone?
Which one do you want? QIV said Pacific. Yeah, what a mess.
All right. We'll start with Paul. VE3 Papa Delta Lima. Come on in, Paul.
I didn't even catch what you guys were talking about. I just heard you ask about the oceans there, so I figured I'd jump in and throw my call sign in real quick for a check-in there, Mr. Chuckles.
All right. Very good, Paul. Yes, we were talking about the largest ocean, and that is the Pacific. So great job for you guys who got that right. Anyhow, Paul, I understand you're going to do one more spin around the sun coming up soon.
Yes, sir. 29th, but we're going to have the get-together on the 31st. If you and the missus would like to stop by there, Chuck.
Yeah. Unless the wife has plans there, yeah, sure. She's on vacation this week, so I'll have to check with her though. But I think Saturday is good. Yeah, next Saturday, right?
Yep, the 31st.
All right, getting to be an old man there, Paul. Oh, look at that! I got a skunk in my backyard, right by my window. Oh, I hope he doesn't let go. Okay, Paul, thanks for checking in. You got any other traffic for us, buddy?
No, sir. Just apologies for not checking in more regular, but haven't been doing much radio stuff. But yeah, I'll endeavor to become more regular. And Mac, you just keep quiet.
Biting my tongue.
Roger. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh.
Oh, we all want to be more regular, Paul.
I knew somebody was going to do
it. Okay, my friend. Well, thanks for checking in, Paul. I hope everything's going well with you and the family, and the pooches, of course. So thanks again, Paul.
No problem, sir. Thanks for picking me up, and good evening to one and all. I'll be listening along on commercials.
Okay, very good. Copy that on the commercials. And Steel City Coach and Bill both got that answer correct on YouTube. That was the Pacific Ocean. And so let's go to Mike, VE3MEU. Mike, come on in.
Hi, very good evening to you, Chuck and Paul before me, and the rest of the fellows out there. I got excited for the trivia there when I heard it, so I was listening to your few questions there. I don't know, Chuck, you kind of got me with this trivia, so I'll just be listening along, and you just keep moseying on along.
Okay, Mike, very good. Yes, I noticed a couple of people are really enjoying the trivia portion of the net there when things slow down and we don't have steady check-ins there. It keeps the ball rolling, keeps the mind going, and gets people participating there. So I kind of like it too. Thanks for checking in, Mike. Sounds like everything's going okay with you, I hope. And enjoy the rest of the net.
Very much appreciated, Chuck. VA3CJZ, V3ME.
By the way there, Mike, I've got you at an S8 signal over here by the Center Mall. So good job from Greensville. Again, for those of you just tuning in, I do stream the net on YouTube, and so you can listen along. If you can't hear a station on your radio, because this is simplex. It's not. There's no repeater. So just go to YouTube, punch in my call sign in the search, and tonight we're under the title AREG Week 1614, and you can follow along there. And with that, before we continue on with our trivia, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group, VA3 CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Romeo Whiskey Juliet, portable.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Papa Golf.
Okay, VE3RWJ and Whiskey Papa Golf. Uh, Chris, I do apologize for passing over you. I do see your call right here in my log, and I realized it once I was making the call out. But regardless, VA3WPG, come on in.
Good evening, everyone. VA3WPG. I'll just keep it quick here. Not much going on. I just slapped a new set of handlebars on my motorcycle, got back upstairs, so realized the time, flicked it on, turned on the radio, and here we are in trivia. Tuned in at the Titanic, and ever since I got all the questions right since the Titanic, but I didn't get keyed up for the Australia dollar question. Other than that, I guess anyone who was on the net yesterday heard about the exciting new countries I got on FT8. So other than that, just dropping my check-in for today, and we'll be listening along. I did just tune in, so I'm curious, did I miss on this day, or is that still coming?
Oh, that usually starts right around 9 p.m. It's 8:51 right now, and so you did not miss on this day there, Chris. Thanks for checking in, sir. You're sounding great as always with that X30 antenna, 5 floors up. It's doing a good job for you.
Beautiful. You are S9 here, and glad to hear I didn't miss on this day. So I will be listening for the rest of the net and eagerly awaiting. With that, we'll keep things rolling, and I'll send it back to you, VA3 WPG, and good evening till last call.
Okay, Chris, thank you again. And so let's say hi to another Chris, VE3 Romeo Whiskey Juliet. Come on in, Chris.
Hello, Chuck. Interesting hearing you on a handheld. I'm downtown Hamilton on Augusta Street, 5 floors up with an open window, so hopefully you can hear me there.
Absolutely. Good thing there's no sirens going off there. I remember staying downtown when we had the house fire, lived in a hotel there. Oh my God, the sirens are blaring. But you're doing good there, Chris. I've got you at 10 over S9, 10 over S9 here at the Center Mall. So good job.
Wow, okay. I'm not sure. I'm going to say S7, S8 for you here. A little hiss in the background, but otherwise pretty good. And anyway, it's neat being a lot closer to most of the check-ins. I can hear just about everybody on the handheld here. So you wouldn't think it would make that much difference between Ancaster and here, but it seems to. Anyway, thanks for doing the net. I won't hold it up, and I'm just going to listen. The 3RWJ.
Okay, Chris. Well, you got to remember this is a Yaesu, not an ICOM. ICOMs, I heard, are quite stingy on their S meters. Mine here is quite generous, apparently. Hang on. I have a window that's open that doesn't have a screen in it, so bugs were starting to come in. Had to close that. But yeah, your handheld is doing a good job there, Chris, from your location. And yeah, 10 over S9, solid. A little crackling, but you can listen to that on the YouTube stream if you like.
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah, I'll check myself out later. All right. Thanks a lot. 73 to everybody. The 3RWJ.
Okay, Chris, downtown on Augusta Street, VE3RWJ on the portable. Anyone else out there wishing to join us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ. Please come now. All right, let's continue on with a little bit more trivia before we start on this day, and uh, let's see. What is the largest mammal in the world? Is it the elephant, the blue whale, the giraffe, or the polar bear? The largest mammal.
That would be the blue whale. It's an air breather.
Yes, sir. Uh, you and Wade both got that right. I see Paul has joined us on the YouTube stream. FT8. There's no FT8 here, buddy. All right, very good, Mac and Wade. All right. Let's see now. In which year did World War II end? Is it 1943, 45, 50, or 1939?
1945. We will never forget.
45.
That is right. Now, some of these questions here I see I've already asked before on trivia night, but I'll try to find new ones here. What's the national flower of Japan? Is it the rose, the cherry blossom, the lily, or the orchid? Rose, cherry blossom, lily, or orchid?
Cherry blossom.
Oh, I love that chocolate covered cherry blossom. Oh,
Unfortunately, those don't go grow on trees.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we asked the longest river in the world. We did that last week, I think. Yeah, hang on here. I'll find some newer good ones. What? Okay, what is the smallest prime number? Is it 0, 1, 2, or 3? The smallest prime number.
1.
And the answer is 2. The smallest prime number is 2. All right. Okay. What is the title of the first James Bond film? Is it Goldfinger, Dr. No, Skyfall, or Casino Royale? What's the title of the first James Bond film? Goldfinger, Dr. No, Skyfall, Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
No.
Casino Royale.
According to this, it's the Dr. No is the first Bond film. And I think I heard a new voice in there, or you checked in earlier, Larry, right? I got you in the log. Yeah. Thanks for participating. I see a few guys got it wrong. Also said Casino Royale on the YouTube stream. But no, it's Dr. No. In the film The Matrix, what is the real name of the character Neo? Is it John Smith, David Johnson, Thomas Anderson, or Michael Brown? In the film The Matrix, what is the real name of the character Neo? John Smith, David Johnson, Thomas Anderson, or Michael Brown?
Thomas Anderson.
Mr. Anderson is correct. Here's something someone got wrong earlier, but might get it right this time. Which film has the record for highest grossing collection of all time as of the year 2022? Uh, which film has the record for highest grossing collection of all time as of 2022? Is it Avengers Endgame? Is it Titanic? Is it Avatar? Or is it The Lion King?
Debbie Does Dallas.
She did a long time ago. And the answer is Avatar. Avatar is the highest grossing collection of all time. What is the name of the female archaeologist in the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark? Is it Marion Ravenwood, Elsa Schneider, Willie Scott, or Irina Spalko? Key word there was Marion. Marion Ravenwood was the female archaeologist in the Raiders of the Lost Ark. In the film The Wizard of Oz, what color is the Wicked Witch of the West's skin? Is it blue, red, green, or yellow?
Green.
That is correct. You got it right there, Chris, as well as Wade and Christian and Coach. Steel City Coach. Very good.
You can mark me down for 1945 for the war and the one before that as well. This wasn't by
Okay, very good.
You didn't give the answer, Chuck.
Oh, I thought I agreed. Yes, it's green. Sorry. Green is the correct answer. Yeah, she was green. Who directed the science fiction film Blade Runner? Was it Stanley Kubrick, Ridley Scott, George Lucas, or Steven Spielberg? Who directed Blade Runner?
Stanley Kubrick.
Next one down, Ridley Scott. I think that's same one that did the Alien movies. This one's an easy one. Hang on, just bear with me here.
I was thinking of the moon landing. My apologies.
Okay. We got another question about the Matrix, but it's the same answer as the last question, but it's different. Interesting. Okay. Well, it's 9:04 p.m. How about we save some of these for next week? Let me just find one more interesting one here, uh, and then we'll move on. All right, what's the chemical symbol for the element gold? Is it AU, AG, FE, or HG?
Alpha uniform.
Correctamundo. Mac, you got that one right as well. Very good. All right, so I'll put an asterisk in the page there, and let's see who else got that right here. AU Wade, you got that right, of course. Okay. Oh, and we have Sean Max Videodrome VE3 FNI dropping into the YouTube stream. Good evening, there, Sean. I hope all is well with you. And yes, the answer was AU is the uh, symbol for gold. Everything going all right with you there, Sean? Let me add you into the log here real quick. All right, very good. Before we continue on, do we have anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group? No one? No takers? Okay. Anyone have any questions or comments before we continue on and start on this day? All right, so tonight we have on this day 182. That's 182 times I've done on this day. And as always, we start with today's famous birthdays. And I try and make it interesting. Uh, we have a gentleman named Claude Graham White, born in 1879. He was an English aviator pioneer who was the first to make a night flight, and he was born in England, 1879. Next, we have Bugs Moran. He was born in 1891, and he was an American gangster during the Prohibition era. Born in St. Paul, Minnesota. That's very close to Canada. So I'll guarantee you Bugs Moran got alcohol from Canada and sold it down into the States during the, what was it, the 30s, I think? 20s or 30s during Prohibition. By the way, Bugs Moran passed away in 1957. Next, born on this day in 1905, Fritz Freeling. That might sound familiar. He's an American animator for Warner Brothers cartoons, most notably Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. If I'm not mistaken, he created Woody Woodpecker. Born in Kansas City, Missouri, and he passed away at the age of 90 in the year 1995. Born on this day, Wilt Chamberlain in 1936. He passed away in 1999. Wilt Chamberlain was an American college basketball Hall of Fame center and an NBA champion and MVP and yada, yada, yada. Lots of awards. Wilt Chamberlain was a fabulous basketball player. Born on this day, 1936. Next, born today in 1938, Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers passed away in 2020, but he was an American pop and country singer-songwriter. You might remember the song The Gambler. Born in Houston, Texas. All right, who here remembers Mod Squad? Born today in 1939 is Clarence Williams III. He was the black dude on Mod Squad, born in New York City. He passed away 3 years ago in 2021. Also born in 1939, James Burton, uh, American guitarist for Ricky Nelson, Elvis Presley, and Elvis Costello. James Burton, he was born in Duberly, Louisiana. Another musician, uh, 1941, Tony Clark was born in 1941 on this day. He's a British rock musician and producer with Moody Blues. He was born in England and passed away in 2010. Born in 1951 today was Glenn Hughes, British bassist and vocalist for Deep Purple. Born in Staffordshire, England. He was with Deep Purple from 73 to 76. Now, we've all heard of Bret the Hitman Hart. Does anyone know how many brothers he had? How many boys? How many Hart boys were there?
Wasn't there 7 altogether?
8, but only Bret and Owen were the ones who really made it big. Here's another Keith Hart, born on this day, 1952, a Canadian professional wrestler, born in Great Falls, Montana. What? All I know is in what was it, in Calgary? Stu Hart had what's known as a dungeon, the wrestling dungeon. In his basement, he had a ring where he used to torture wrestlers and show them the ropes. All right. Kim Sledge was born on this day, 1957. Sister Sledge, you remember that band? She was an American vocalist. You might remember the song We Are Family. Born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Born on this day, 1959, Jim McMahon, NFL quarterback with the Chicago Bears, San Diego Chargers, and finally the Philadelphia Eagles. So he's 65 today. Next, we've got Steven Hillenberg, born on this day, 1961. American animator and cartoonist for none other than SpongeBob SquarePants. Born in Oklahoma, he passed away in 2018. All right, so let's go to the movie The Matrix now. Remember the Keanu Reeves co-star who wore that black vinyl suit there, that one-piece suit? Well, her name is Carrie Ann Moss, and she was born on this day in 1967, and she's a Canadian actress who was in the Matrix trilogy, born in Vancouver.
Trinity.
That's it. That was her character name. Very good. Yeah, she filled that outfit very nicely, let's say.
Hey, Trin.
Hey, Trin. Yeah. Trin. Yeah. They were good when they came out, those movies. I liked them. All right. Who remembers the what do they call that? Third player game, Wolfenstein, Doom, and Quake. You guys remember that? Wolfenstein was the one where you went down these tunnels, and if you clicked on the right section of the wall, a weapon would appear or something like that. Uh, anyways, Wolfenstein, that was one of the very first games. Anyways, the guy's name is John Carmack. He was born in 1970 on this day, and he's a programmer for that software. He was born in Kansas.
Comment?
I still got Wolfenstein and Doom, VA3 WPG.
Yeah, I get motion sickness if I play that too long. Anyways, there, Larry, go ahead.
Do you know they brought Doom back out again?
What, the movie?
No, the game. They brought the game back out again.
Yeah, well, it was pretty popular back in the day, early '90s, I think. Do you know who has it, Larry?
Who has it in? Who brought it back out, or who has Doom?
Yeah, who brought it back out?
I'm not sure. Excuse me. My brother-in-law has it. I think they stream it.
Yeah, they stream a lot of these games now. Okay, very good. Thanks for that, Larry. Let's go back to some doom and gloom here. Our next person is called Amy Fisher. Amy Fisher turns 50 today. She was born in 1974. And she's the American woman who, when aged 17, shot Mary Jo Buttafuoco in the face while having an affair with her husband. She was born on Long Island, New York. You guys remember that? Joey Buttafuoco? Yeah, he was having an affair with a 17-year-old. Her name was Amy Fisher. And she showed up at the door and shot the wife right in the face. She lived, too. Okay, two more to go here. Next, born in 1980, Paul Menard, American NASCAR Sprint Cup Series driver, born in Wisconsin. That would make him 44 today. And lastly, celebrating his 38th birthday is Usain Bolt. Born in 1986, he's a Jamaican sprinter, won Olympic gold in the 100 and 200 meters 3 times. No one else has been able to do that. Win both the 100 and 200 3 times. He won it in 2008, 2012, and 2016. Of course, he was born in Jamaica. That's it for famous birthdays on this day. Do we have any questions or comments, or anyone who would like to check into our weekly net? This is VA3CJZ with the AREG net. Please come now.
V3BK.
There we go. I hear VE3BK. You made it, Rick. Come on in.
Oh yeah, well we got a barbecue coming up on the weekend, and I was trying to get it right for it. Anyway, I haven't heard back from today, so anyway, yeah, I've been listening for a while. But I didn't check in there last time you called, so I thought I better check in this time. And I'm on YouTube, and it looks like it's frozen. We're on week 16, 14, right?
Yeah, well, looks like I have an active screen. Does anyone else see a frozen screen? I don't know what to say. Yeah, Wade is responding. Did you see him type in? I'm still seeing it live. Rick, did you see that?
No, I got it on full screen. I have to minimize it a bit to see the comments on the site.
Yeah, you can't see the chat unless you minimize it a little bit. Okay, yeah, a few people are still seeing it live. Oh, and by the way, Brett the Hitman Hart went to the same high school as Wayne B, VA3 FMB. Oh, very cool, Wayne. Interesting.
I just refreshed my screen and it seems to be working.
Yeah, you should see my radio in a little box in the top left corner, and then my shack table here.
Yep, and your laptop's got a blue screen on it.
Yeah, it's just distorted because that's actually the scene that I'm watching. I see it. It's on the laptop right now, so we're gonna change that here right quick. So there we go. We'll do another one on this day. There we go. So what do you say? You got a barbecue coming up?
Oh yeah, the Hamlam Chorito Club has barbecue out at Benbrook Park on Sunday at 1:30. And anyway, the club event, and you're gonna have anybody that goes has to pay to get into the Benbrook Park, but it should be a good time. Anyway, yeah, and I think Barry is keeping track of who's coming. But yeah, Art last year he didn't make it because his ride backed out the last minute. So that's the way it goes. Anyway, I haven't been talking to him, so I don't know. He never showed up last week, and I don't know whether he had to go back to that meeting again tonight or not because he never called me back.
Oh
So
yeah.
he could be in a meeting. But anyway, yeah, just thought I'd check in and say hello to everybody on frequency. And like I said, I've been listening for a little while there, so carry on there, Chuck. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
Okay, Rick. Well, I hope the weather holds out for you for the barbecue there, and hope everyone has lots of fun. And yeah, I guess Art is MIA. Oh well. Uh, Hopefully everything is going well with him. Okay, Rick. Thanks for your check-in. By the way, along with um, everyone else that checked in on the radio and on YouTube, I do believe we are at with you check-in number 19 tonight. So thanks for that, Rick. Anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm here by the Hamilton Center Mall. Anyone, anywhere? All right, so we'll continue with On This Day, and we did the birthdays. Now we're going to go to who died today in history. Let me arrange that. There we go. All right, so the first person I have here was in the year 1614. Died today in 1614 was Elizabeth Bathory. She was a Hungarian countess and the world's most prolific female serial killer. Dies at the age of 54. It says here Countess Elizabeth Bathory was a Hungarian noblewoman and an alleged serial killer from the Bathory family who owned land in the Kingdom of Hungary. Actually, it's called another country now. I can't remember it. Bathory and 4 of her servants were accused of torturing and killing hundreds of girls and women from the year 1590 to 1610, so for 20 years. It's quite brutal. All right. Next is Ettore Bugatti. Died in 1947. He was 65 years old. Ettore was an Italian-French automobile designer and manufacturer for automobiles Bugatti, one of the most expensive cars at one time in the world. All right. So one more here. We have two more. We've got the year 2005 passing away is Robert Moog. You've heard of the Moog synthesizer. He was an American engineer who invented the Moog synthesizer. You could probably get a good taste of what a synthesizer can do If you listen to the song Frankenstein from Johnny Winter, he died of a brain tumor at the age of 71 back in 2005. And last on my list, one of the Everly brothers passed away 3 years ago in 2021. It was Isaac, or Don Everly, American rock and roll singer guitarist with the Everly brothers. You might remember the song Bye Bye Love, Wake Up Little Susie, and When Will I Be Loved? He was 84 years old. I forget what his brother's name is, but there was two of them. The Everly brothers. My dad used to listen to them. That's it for people dying on this day in history. Again, are there any comments or questions, or anyone who would like to check in? Please come now. All right, today's historical events. And we go all the way back to the year 1264. Kublai Khan accepts the surrender of his younger brother, AREG, at the end of the Mongol Civil War. The year is 1321, and 160 Jews in France are burned at the stake. It seems every week I'm saying something about the Jews. It's crazy. I'm just reading the facts here. Next, the year is 1673. King Louis XIV donates 600 books to found the library of l'Académie Française, or the French Academy, for you Anglos. And what a nice guy! Didn't the people prize and kill Louis XIV? Guillotine him and his wife, I think. And thank you, Bill, VE3IUK, for giving me the other brother's name, Phil and Don Everly brothers. Thank you, Bill. All right. In 1680, on this day, Pueblo Indians takes possession of Santa Fe in New Mexico from the Spanish. What is a pueblo, you might ask? Well, it's a North American Indian settlement of the southwestern United States, especially one consisting of multi-storied adobe houses built by the Pueblo people. In the year 1841, on this day, a gentleman by the name of John Hampton patents the Venetian blind. This might sound familiar here from the old days of the James gang. And anyways, this one is in 1863, and it's called the Lawrence Massacre, or the Quantrill's Raid. 450 Confederate guerrillas led by William Quantrill, with William T. Anderson and Frank James, the brother of Jesse James, attacked the Unionist town of Lawrence, Kansas, killing more than 150 unarmed men and boys. We've seen this in countless movies as well. (1888). On this day, American inventor William Seward Burroughs patents the adding machine, and they would use that for cash registers. The old big cash registers. Yeah, those things were basically an adding machine. So there you go. All right, in 1897, Oldsmobile First manufactured by Olds Motor Vehicle Company in Lansing, Michigan. That's all the way back in 1897. In 1911, on this day, the Mona Lisa is stolen from the Louvre by Vincenzo Perugia and is recovered 2 years later in 1913. In 1931, on this day, Yankees slugger Babe Ruth becomes the first Major League Baseball player to hit 600 career home runs as New York defeats St. Louis Browns 11-7. By the way, a lot of people don't know this, but Babe Ruth struck out more than twice the amount of home runs he got. Babe Ruth, I had to look it up, got struck out 1,330 times in his career, but he did have that home run record too. So he's got two records. Okay, in 1938, Italy bars all Jewish teachers in public and high schools. Of course, that's right before World War II. And the Italians were in bed with Germans. Okay, 1942, Walt Disney's animated movie Bambi is released, based on the book by Felix Salten. 1942 is when Bambi came out. And by the way, I had to look this up. It took almost 9 years to create that movie. They've since made it a little faster than that. They pump them out quite quickly now. I remember when it took them 1 year to make an animated movie. Now they're pretty quick. 1949, on this day, Canada's largest earthquake since the year 1700 strikes the Queen Charlotte Fault below Haida Gwaii at 8.1 magnitude, and it knocks cows off their feet. By the way, Haida Gwaii is a little island off of British Columbia. In 1957, the Soviet Union successfully tests the world's first intercontinental ballistic missile, the R-7, which flies over 6,000 kilometers or 3,700 miles. In 1959, on this day, Hawaii becomes the 50th state of the United States. 1959. And in 1963, martial law is declared in South Vietnam following raids on Buddhist pagodas. In 1965, Gemini 5 is launched into orbit, carrying astronauts Gordon Cooper and Charles Pete Conrad. Gemini 5, 1965. Also in 1965, a wrestler by the name of The Crusher beats Mad Dog Vachon and St. Paul to become the NWA champ. Who remembers watching wrestling on black and white TV in the 70s and possibly the 60s? Anyone?
12-inch TV with rabbit ears.
Oh, yeah. Edward Carpentier, Don Leo Jonathan, Mad Dog Vachon, his brother. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Haystack Calhoun and the Sheik.
Oh, yeah. There's so many of them. They did good back then.
Whipper Billy Watson.
Wasn't he straight from Hamilton?
Well, who's that, Mike?
Iron Mike Sharp.
I don't know. Was he from Hamilton?
I do believe so, yeah. He was kind of a growler, and he had a big leather arm piece on. I do believe he was from Hamilton.
There was also another guy who ended up being a famous biker here in Canada, and he ended up committing murder and getting caught. He was also a wrestler from Hamilton. What the heck was his name? He was all over the news.
K9.
Johnny K9. Thanks, Kevin. And so did Steel City Coach. Johnny K9. That's right. Yeah.
Don't forget the Love Brothers.
Oh, the Hollywood Blondes, too.
John Evans, he lived on the beach, one of the Love Brothers. I did work for him.
Oh, is that right? What'd you do?
He had a big garage and a pool. I was building him an office and that. He had a big, huge garage there. Just down the street from Billy the Kid. But he was going to slap me out because me and the guys that were doing the drywalling, we were watching his daughter in the pool.
It's not against the law to look.
That's what we thought. We should have been in there working, but we were drooling out the window and he caught us. He was just joking around though, eh? He come in, he was going to clothesline the two of us, eh? And he got us all scared. He goes, "I'm just bugging you." He was there. "I'd be looking too if I were you."
Yeah. There's some young ladies there that are hard not to look at. I'll guarantee you that.
There's another wrestler that he introduced to John Evans. He was one of the Love Brothers. Ronnie something. He lived way out Winona way. Banana fingers. He had big, huge fingers. Ronnie, Rotten Ralphie. That was his name.
Yeah, and Roddy Piper was Canadian. Did you know that?
If I knew that or not, but I just recently seen that.
Yeah, I think he's from Saskatchewan. Roddy Piper.
Funny how a lot of them pass away, eh? The Warrior. Look at that van accident back in, was it the late 80s, early 90s? There's, was it the McCurley brothers? Like big red-headed twins? Remember they were in the commercial? It's that big chunk of fudge. Well, they were always in the old Center Mall.
Oh, yeah.
What about Adrian Adonis?
What, is he Canadian?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. He was in the van, though. Was it the van or the plane crash? There was a van accident, went over a hill or something. A whole bunch of them died in. I think that's where Adrian. Remember Adrian Adonis? He looked in the mirror. Anyway, sorry to cheat in there. I'm back to listen to On This Day. VA3 any.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. It's not an interruption whatsoever there, Kevin. By the way, I was just pouring myself another cup of coffee here because my throat's starting to get sore. I think I'm coming down with something here. It's starting to sound a little bit hoarse. All right, not a problem. Anyone else with a comment or a question or a check-in for this week's AREG Net, please come now. VA3 CJZ. All right. 1966, first concert at Bush Memorial Gardens, St. Louis, Missouri. The Beatles headline. Get this, it is their second show of the day, having played in the afternoon 341 miles away in Cincinnati, Ohio, after getting rained out on the night before. Busy schedule. All right, in 1967, Major League Baseball player with the Kansas City Athletics, uh, Ken Harrelson, becomes baseball's first free agent ever when he is abruptly released by the team after he reputedly refers to the team's owner, Charlie Finley, a menace to baseball. I'd fire his ass too. 1967, first free agent. In 1968, on this day, after 5 years, the Soviet Union once again jams the Voice of America radio. Huh, those Ruskies. See, they had radio jammers back then. All right, also in 1968, Private First Class James Anderson Jr. Uh, becomes the first African American Marine to win the Medal of Honor from Vietnam. And also, the third story here, 1968, pilot William Dana reaches 80 kilometers with the X-15, and that's the last high-altitude X-15 flight on this day in 1968. All right, this one's about the Gap, the clothing store. Who knows what year they first opened the Gap? 1969, the first Gap clothing store opens in Ocean Avenue, San Francisco. 1969. Never heard of them in the 70s or 80s for that matter.
Right, so roadie.
The San Franciscan treat. All right. 1972, we have the first hot air balloon flight over the Alps. Thank you, but you wouldn't catch me in a hot air balloon unless they gave you a parachute. Also in 1972, the United States Orbiting Astronomy Observatory Copernicus is launched. All right, this is one of my favorite stories of the night. It's called Operation Paul Bunyan. For those who know, well, you know. In 1976, we have Operation Paul Bunyan begins in retaliation for the Korean axe murder incident. Now, 3 days prior, 110 troops, 27 helicopters, 3 B-52 bombers are deployed to the Korean demilitarized zone to cut down a poplar tree, blocking the view of UN observers. Hence the Operation Paul Bunyan. 1977, American water skier Donna Patterson Bryce sets the women's high-speed record of 111.11 miles per hour at Long Beach, California on water skis. Wow, I wouldn't want to fall. You fall at 111 miles per hour on the water, you're in a world of trouble. All right, in 1980, British drummer and band co-founder Bill Ward quits Black Sabbath for the first time. I know, probably because of Ozzy. So the drummer, Bill Ward, he was the co-founder of Black Sabbath. And in 1985, the New York Lotto pays out $41 million to 3 winners. Back in 1985, 41 million. Well, you got to chop that in half. because the IRS takes at least half. Not here in Canada though. Winnings are yours to keep. 1987, Dirty Dancing film directed by Emily or Emile, sorry, Ardolino, starring Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, opens in the U.S. 1987, Dirty Dancing. And in 1989, Voyager 2 begins a flyby of the planet Neptune. Who remembers Ruby Ridge? In 1992, United States Marshals move in on Randy Weaver's cabin in Ruby Ridge, Idaho, to apprehend him on firearms charges, and an 11-day standoff ensues. 1993, NASA loses contact with the Mars Observer. And in 1996, Netscape Browser 3.0 is released. Who remembers Netscape Browser? I do. Didn't last very long. That was when Corel came out. 1998, Marvel superhero film Blade, starring Wesley Snipes, is released on this day, 1998. 2017, London's Parliament clock Big Ben chimes for the last time before a 4-year restoration process for its tower starts. I didn't know that. Also in 2017, we have a total solar eclipse visible from North America. I don't think it was in our path, but nonetheless. 2019, on this day, 74,155 fires caused by land clearing are burning in the Amazon rainforest, the most ever recorded, according to Brazil's National Institute for Space Research. 70,000 fires? What? All right, 2 more to go. In 2019, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, named highest paid actor for a second year in a row, earning $89.4 million. That's just in 2019. All right, this is the last story, and it's in 2023, just last year on this very day. When a country says we don't want you here, go back, you better listen here. Saudi border guards accused of killing hundreds of migrants, shooting them as they tried to cross into the country from Yemen, in a report by Human Rights Watch. When they say don't come, they mean it. Okay, so that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did, as well as the trivia. I had lots of fun doing that. Thank you very much for listening and participating. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now. All right, so let's go to the top of the list for a 7-3 round then. And we'll start with Mac, VA3IMW.
Well, Chuck, you picked the perfect time. I was just topping off my hot chocolate. Wonderful net, as usual. And I was always holding back when you asked for questions because I always wanted to know how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, Chuck?
Well, I think you'd have to ask Mr. Paul Bunyan.
Oh, I think I already know the answer. He chuck all the wood that a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Chuck.
I'm glad you said it, Mac, and not me. Very good, sir. Thank you once again um, for your presence here and your help on the net and your participation, of course. Anything else, Mac?
Well, I trust you find suitable, soothing um, medicines for your throat, and I trust whatever you're coming down with is short-lived. Anyways, we'll hear you guys on the radio tomorrow night, 7 p.m. 446-125. 7 threes
Right.
to you and all.
Okay, Mac, thanks. All right, who do we have next here? Next, we have Kevin, VA3, November Echo. Last call, Kevin.
Yeah, still in here. Holy, that was a short list unless I missed something.
Well, you're check-in number, well, you're number 4 because I had BMO and NFL. But first was Mac, and then you came in. So you're basically number 2.
Oh, damn, that's all right. I didn't know I was that quick on the keyer tonight, but that's all right. Yeah, good net there as always, Chuck. Found that interesting. I was in out checking the smoker and had to try a sausage there. Just finished trying that. I pickled some onion, cucumber, what else? Tomatoes that are growing abundant in the garden. You ever do that? Pickled it with some vinegar and what else I put in there? A little bit of water and spiced it up, a little bit of oil. Left it overnight. Boy, is that ever a good meal.
Yeah, actually, I used to grow pickled cucumbers, and I canned them, made my own brine for the cucumbers there. And yeah, it took a little bit of trial and error, but even so, the first batch didn't turn out so good, but then I figured out what I did wrong. So yeah, right on.
Yeah, I hear you're good at making the beef jerky. I made a little bit, what was it, a couple of weeks ago when I was doing the smoking. Metro had, the real thinny beef cut? Those steaks, you cook them up in like 45 seconds. Well, I put them on there. I didn't know how long to leave them. I just spiced them up like a dry rub. I didn't have any smoke. It was still good, though. And I took them off before they were leather. They had a good chew to them, but at least you can still chew them. It wasn't leather.
Yeah, yeah. They say you can actually make that in your oven. Of course, you'd have to use the liquid smoke. You don't want to smoke your oven. But yeah, if you find the right temperature, I forget what it is, 180 or 280. I forget what it is now. And they say you can actually, it's pretty easy to do. The trick is just finding the right recipe. It took me a while. And then I had one of those smokers I bought from Canadian Tire, and the big metal square box they had there. And by golly, that beef jerky, really good.
That's what I got going right now. Or not cherry. I got applewood chips in that little metal box I bought. And then Metro, it had a sale on the beef tenderloin, pork tenderloin. I got one of them on there, just $6, $6.50, whatever. Spiced up, put it on there. It's been on there since 7:45. Only a couple hours. About another hour or so is good, though. I find 3.5 hours is good. I don't know if I got too much heat or what. Just the one burner on as low as it'll go. But last time I went about 4.5 hours, everything was like beef jerky. It was kind of tough, eh? So I figured 3.5 hours is pretty good. I know when I go in the bathroom, all I smell is the apple wood chips, eh, because the window's open. But I love the smell of wood burning. Back to you there. Don't want to tie it up. $73. I think this is the 73 round, eh?
Yep. Yes, sir. It sure is. And thank you for that, Kevin. And yeah, make sure when you're doing things for the first time, you got to check on it more often, so you don't like you said, let it turn to leather. All right, very good, Kevin. Thank you very much for your participation and your check-in tonight. Next, we've got Wade, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha 7-3 round. Wade, are you still around?
Yeah, still here, Chuck. 7-3 and 7-3 to everybody else who's still listening here as well. Nice way to spend a Wednesday, of course, as always. Enjoy the trivia and the stay all the time, and it's perfect timing. I got my my little distribution board completed and tested. It seems to work. Doesn't short out. I plugged it into one of my POTA batteries that's got a nice little protection fuse in it. So no fuses were blown tonight, which that's always a sign of a successful evening, I suppose. Anyways, thanks for doing it, Chuck, and I'll send it back to you, and you can get the other 7-3s. 7-3 to you and all. VA3 NCA, back to you.
Okay, very good, Wade. Well, I'm glad you were able to complete your tasks while listening to the net. Very good, then. I'd also like to thank you for checking in on YouTube, as well as VA3FMB, Wayne, VE3VNY, and I'll get to the rest in a minute here. But next we've got Christian. He was mobile earlier, but let's see. VE3 Quebec Yankee Victor. And next we have Larry, VE3 LBI 7-3 round. Larry.
Yep, we're still here, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. Interesting things tonight. So, all right, say 7 through everybody, and I'll probably clear over to the ZOE in a bit.
All right, very good. Thanks, Larry. Next, Vern is probably not available, but excuse me, he's next. VA3 Charlie Romeo Fox. Are you still around, Vern? How about Harry? Victor Alpha 3 Hotel Kilo Charlie. Albert, VA3 Bravo Tango. Enjoy your vacation, my friend. Thanks for checking in on YouTube. Next, we got Chris, VA3 WPG. Last round.
VA3 WPG 73 to everyone. Till next time. Have a good night.
Thanks, Chris. Next, we had Bill checking in on YouTube, VE3 IUK. Thanks, Bill. And next, we got Paul, VE3 Papa Delta Lima. Paul, you still around?
Late check-in, Chuck, Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf.
Oh, hey, you finally made it with 3 minutes to go. VA3 NFG, portable, right?
Yep, Roger on the portable there. My car's going to the garage tomorrow. Get a new set of rubber and an oil change, so every time I drop my car off, I don't like my radio as being in there. So I just finished unhooking everything and packed it up into a Milwaukee case, and I've got it in the house with the ATAP, safe and sound.
Ah, very good, very good. Yeah, Milwaukee. I love those tools. I've used a few in my day. Not cheap, but very well made. Okay, Steve, thanks for checking in, sir. Much appreciated. And we'll talk to you soon, I am sure. All right, let's see who's next on my list here. VE3 MEU, Mike, you still there?
Yeah, still here, Chuck. Suggestion for maybe your little something you have coming down. Maybe a couple drops of oil of oregano under the tongue might do the trick. If you can't stomach that tincture, maybe put it in a glass of warm water. But I did want to mention something, Chuck. A little bit on the tech side, and maybe Wade could also listen in if he did so I believe the only other station I've heard would be in Pleasant Valley regarding this is the ESP32 LoRa devices for the off-grid text messaging. I did a firmware upgrade on the devices and also the platform on Android, and it cut down the battery consumption in half. I'm not sure if NCA is still in there, but I would like to relay that to him if that is him in Pleasant Valley. Thanks for everything, Chuck. A real great job. I am really enjoying the trivia. It's a good time, and sorry I haven't checked in much sooner. But the last couple of weeks have been great. I do appreciate it. VA3CJZ and the group, Victor Echo 3, Mike Echo Uniform. 7-3, Chuck.
Okay, Mike, 7-3, and I wonder if Wade heard your transmission there.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA, I heard it relayed through YouTube. I'm not hearing Mike on direct. But yeah, that would be my my LoRaWAN station that you're seeing on the map. It's not running right now, so that must be an old ping that's still displaying. But I played around with it a bit. I can't say that I run it very often, but it's a fun little toy to play with. Probably doesn't have the update you're talking about, though. But I'll definitely, next time I get around to it, I'll take a look. So I think what I heard you say, because I only kind of picked up half of the transmission there, was that the new firmware cuts down on battery usage. I did have that problem. My little LoRaWAN guys would die. The battery would die pretty quick. So, anyways, thanks for the info, and I'll definitely take a look next time I play with that stuff. Thanks, Chuck. VA3NC. I'll be clear.
Okay, there you go. All right, very good, Wade. And Mike, thank you very much, sir. VE3MEU. How about Chris? Chris was downtown earlier. VE3RWJ. Okay, next I've got VE3FNI. Sean, thanks for checking in on YouTube, as well as Steel City Coach and everyone else who checked in with us on the YouTube stream. Thank you. And last is VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Rick. Okay, Rick must have stepped away. Let's see. Do we have any last minute check-ins for this week's AREG net? This is VA3CJZ. Well, it's that time again. It's 10:03 p.m. and currently 17 degrees outside the CJZ studios. I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you who checked in, listened along, participated, and thank you very much. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and we'll be here next week. Oh, by the way, we had 20 check-ins tonight, including actually 21. I don't have a call for Steel City Coach, so I didn't mark him in. So there you go. And so we'll be here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie, Juliet, Zulu, saying 7-3 for now. So long, and I'm going to take a break and come back and listen in on this frequency as well as the ZOE repeater. Have a good night, everyone, and a great rest of the week. So long for now.
Hey, before you go, Chuck.
Yes, sir. I just called you a few minutes ago.
Yeah, well, I was on Skype with Reg, and he said, "Turn that radio down. Turn that radio down. I can't hear you." So that's what I did. But anyway, Reg is doing okay, and you know, he had a bit of a water problem. He said all he's got is his laptop, his Skype, and his Equilink, and all his radios. They all got wet. and his shack is in a shambles. So they had some heavy rains over there and problem with the eaves trough. So that's what that was all about. Anyway, but so that's why I didn't answer you.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, water and radios don't go good together.
Yeah, well, I hope he didn't get real damage. They're damp, he said. So, but anyway, his shack's in a mess. So, but yeah. Something I wanted to ask you was last week while you were on the radio, I sent you a QSL card and I sent you a movie. Did you get those? Okay.
I didn't see the movie, but I think I got the QSL card. I'll have to uh, I'll have to check again there, Rick.
Okay, the movie may have been too big to come true. I don't know, but it was me and Reg at Field Day, 2011. It was kind of interesting.
I think I
The
did.
guy that did the camera was not professional. He was one of the ham guys, and he moved around quite a bit. But it was still a pretty good movie to see. It's on YouTube, somewhere on YouTube. I don't know whether you'd find it by searching Field Day or what.
Yeah, no, I'll have another look. I think I remember. I think I did see it, Rick. So yeah, thanks for sending that. Now that you mentioned Reg in there, yeah, I remember. I did see it.
Yeah. Well, Rich was a lot younger there, so was I, and I was a lot chubbier there too. Uh, I lost quite a bit of weight since then. But anyway, that's the way it used to be. And hey, we had fun on that field day. That was at Devil's Punch Bowl. So it was right beside Devil's Punch Bowl. It was pretty good. And actually, one of the guys ran an antenna down, down, down over the escarpment for 160. And that was quite a thing. It didn't work that good, but anyway, it was an experiment.
Yeah, no doubt. There's plenty of room for wire down in the Devil's Punch Bowl there. Oh well, you never know unless you try. Uh, Probably was sitting too close to the edge. But anyways, Rick, I got to take a break, my friend. So I'm gonna say thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yep, Roger that. Okay, and sorry I wasn't in there, but yeah, we talked to Rich, and that was interesting. Always good talking to him. He looks like he's pretty well recuperated from his stroke there, pretty good. So 73, VA3, CJZ, V3, BK.
Okay, Rick, and please say hi to Reg for me, and let him know about the nets that we have on YouTube. He can also tune in with us, or he can watch it at his own leisure. All he's got to do is put in my call sign in the YouTube search, and that's it. All right.
Yeah, that's a good timing for him because he's up early, and when it's 8 o'clock at night here, it's 8 o'clock the next morning there. So he's always up early. He's up about 6:30. So okay, 73 V3 BK.
Okay, Rick, have a good one. Anyone else with comments or check-ins for this week's AREG net? Please come now before I shut her down. All right. Once again, thank you all so much. It's been a blast. Till next week, or till we meet down the log. VA3 CJZ 73.